another video on the gentle exercise and functional fitness. This is our seated exercise section, which is 15 minutes long. So just a quick little introduction to how we want to sit on the chair. So we want a nice sturdy chair, and if possible we want to be sat a little bit away from the back. So I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see what I mean. You want to be sat a little bit forward on the chair, so probably in the front third, abdominal muscles engaged and a nice flat back. If you do need the support of the chair, try and sit right back. So we're still sat nice and tall, but we do have the support there if you need it. But if possible, try and bring it forward. If at any point you do need a little bit of a rest, we can just relax back onto that chair and have that little bit of a rest. It's absolutely fine. I'm going to turn myself back round. So we want to be sat in that starting position. We want to pull in through our abdominals, can't say the word. Nice straight back. Legs about hip distance between the feet and between the knees, so we're nicely in line. A lot of these exercises we start with are using the warm up, so we're just moving through the joints. So we're going to start with the shoulders.
3, 2, 1.
And we do a shoulder roll, so up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Now we're going to stick to a timing, as my timer just said, of 1.5 minutes on each exercise and a 30-second break in between exercises. So that's the way we normally work if we were in a session or a class. Those are timings that we normally work to. But do feel free to have a little breather at any point if you feel you need to. So we're thinking about the shoulders, we're making that move nice and big. Forward, up towards the ears, squeeze the shoulders together, and then a little push down towards the floor. So it's a little bit of an exaggerated move. Go whatever pace works for you. We're really loosening off those shoulder joints. And we do hold an awful lot of tension in the shoulders. So this is a nice one to start with, to really just loosen everything up. And as I say, it is one we use an awful lot in the warm-ups. It really just does get the fluid moving through those shoulders, loosens them up a little bit. Do feel free to have a breather if you need one. If we can, just keep it going. Big circles, really focusing on how big that circle can be. This is your last one. And just give them a little shake out, a little shake if you want. If you want to, just sit it back against that chair. Have that little 30-second break. That's absolutely fine. The next one we're going to do, we're going to stay with the shoulders. So again, we're going to bring ourselves in that nice straight position. The arms are going to go down at the sides, a little bit of engagement through the stomach muscles, that nice straight back. I'm going to turn the thumbs out to the side, the palms facing forward. We're just going to start a little circle. So we're just thinking, nice heavy arms. Let the arms hang heavy. Use the arms just to provide almost like they're going around on their own with a little bit of balance. And it's almost like you're stirring a pot. And that pot might be really nice and small, or you might feel like you can just get a little bit bigger. And you can just loosen those shoulders up a little bit more. Or you might want to stay nice and small. And it doesn't matter. Whatever movement, you might want to do a couple big, you might want to do a couple small. You work on what works for you. So nice and heavy into the arms. Keep those thumbs pointing out to the side. That way we're opening up the front of the shoulder joints. I want to stay nice and tall. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. So what a nice long neck. Very important the neck is nice and relaxed. Nicely in line with the spine. Just working through those arms again, whatever size you want. Feel free to have a little breather if you want to at any point, a little rest at the back of that chair. It's a little bit longer. Feels quite nice, this one. I always think it's a nice one. Just let the arms be heavy, let them just drift round on their own. And we've got another 2 circles, 1 and 2. Give them a little roll out, should be feeling a little bit looser. Again, if you want to have a little sit back onto that chair, have a little sit back. Give yourself a little bit of a breather. The next one we're going to go into is start to warm the legs up a little bit. So we're going to do a heel dig. So we're going to sit nice and straight once again. You may find you need to come a little bit further forward on the chair for this one. We're going to go heel to floor, toe to ceiling. Nice and steady. Off we go. So we're going to focus on the legs to start with. So we've got a little bit of movement through the hip, a little bit of movement through the knee. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're just keeping it nice and smooth, nice and steady. We don't need to go too fast. We've got that little bit of abdominal engagement, so we're just pulling in the stomach muscles slightly, keeping the back nice and straight. So if you wanted to add arms in, we could have a little bicep curl at the same time. So if we do add the arms in, the bicep curl is an exercise we use again in the main section of the exercise classes and sessions. So it's quite nice to pop it into the warm-up because it just gets the muscle thinking, oh, this is quite a nice move, this is something that I can do. So it's a lot easier then. They've already started to work in that way, got a little bit of muscle memory. So it's starting to think about it already. And we're just squeezing the muscle in the front of the shin. So as we squeeze the muscle in the front of the shin, the toes go up towards the ceiling a little bit more. We get a little stretch down the back of the calf. We just loosen off into the ankle a little bit. And it's starting to mobilise through the joints of the leg. So again, we've got a mobilisation through the knee joint here as well. We've just got a couple more. It's your last one. And again, just have a little breather. Have that little sit back and rest if you need to. A couple of nice deep breaths. Sitting up. So we're going to stay with the ankles. We're going to do a toe tap. I'm going to turn myself sideways just so you can see. So again, we're sitting tall, stomach muscles in. We're going to focus just on the legs. We're going to come up and tap the toe and down. Up and tap the toe and down. So got a little lift through the hip, a lift through the knee, a lift into the ankle. So we're really having to move through the ankle this time. You may find you can do it with the toe underneath the knee, or you might find you need to go a little bit further. So you might just have to tap forward a little bit. Depends on the movement of your ankle. Either way is fine. I'm going to bring it back round to the front as you keep going. So it's like you're showing someone your shoelaces. And again with this one, if you want to add in the arms and that bicep curl again. We're really thinking this time, getting the squeeze into the back of that leg, so into the calf muscle. And we're stretching out the top of the ankle. And again, the arms just moving that bicep curl, just because it's a movement we're going to use again, and because it feels quite nice with this. Again, you set a pace that you want to work to. Any speed is fine, absolutely okay. Whatever speed you want to go at, you may be going a little bit faster, you may be going a little bit slower, doesn't matter. Any speed is fine. Sort of think about that ankle moving. Just keeping nice and smooth, nice and steady. We've just got one more on each side, and your last one on that side. And again, just bring it down. Have a little relax back if you need it. Little sit back, you get your 30 seconds. We're going to start to move on the next one a little bit more into the legs, getting some blood pumping through them. It may raise your heart rate a little bit, may make you breathe in a little bit quicker. We're going to go to a march. So muscles in the stomach, sitting nice and tall. We're going to get a nice little pace going through the legs. So again, movement through the hip. You have to use the lower abdominals a little bit now as well, because we're lifting up with the leg. We've got that bend in the knee. We're not lifting too high. We're getting a little bit of a quicker pace. Again, the pace is up to you. You can go a little bit faster if you'd like to. You can go a little bit slower. If we can as well, we can add in the arms. So if we're adding in the arms, we want to bend into the elbow, swing through the shoulder. We don't want the arms across the body. We want to keep them nice and straight. So they're coming straight out and straight back. And if we can just keep that pace going. You feel probably it'll start to raise the heart rate a little bit. Legs will start to get a little bit warmer. You may feel you start to breathe a little bit more, a little bit quicker. So really just start to warm everything up. Again, marching, really, really good warm-up exercise. Use it a lot. And do remember that when we're doing warm-ups for people just starting, or older people, or people who may have a health condition, the warm-ups are longer anyway. They are the 10 to 15 minutes that we're doing now. And if this warm-up's enough for you, then that's absolutely fine. Just doing this is already setting you on that journey. And have a little breather. So again, if you need to, have that little lean back. Get your breathing back to normal. A couple of nice deep breaths. So the last exercise I'm going to do in this little video is a knee lift. So it's just a little bit bigger than the march. Again, we're nice and tight, so we're going to have to use these abdominal muscles to lift the leg. We take our opposite hand across to opposite knee. So we're sitting nice and straight. We're going to lift up and lower. Lift. So off we go. Lift and lower. So we're lifting the knee a little bit higher. We're making sure we stay sat upright. So don't sway backwards. Keep that engagement through the stomach muscles. Stay nice and tall. Little tap and down. Opposite hand comes across. Then we've got a little bit of thought going through the brain then, as it's having to think opposite hand to knee. We also get a little bit of work through the midsection of the body because we have to make a little turn. And this is something that can be built on as we go through these exercises. We start with a little turn. And we've got to work through the hip joint. There also is a little bit of work through the knee. And a little bit of work through that central section of the body, as we just said. So you should feel it gets a little bit warmer. And again, the knee lift is an exercise that we use on a regular basis in the exercise programs. If you think about it, you've got to lift your leg a lot, getting up and down out of chairs, you've got to lift it to go up and down curbs, stepping in and out of your house, all sorts of things. It's a good one, this one. Gets things moving. We've just got a couple more. And one more on each leg. Okay, and we're just going to bring it down. So we've done all of the exercises for this little video. So we just want to have a little think and a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to take one leg out in front. You might have to shuffle forward a bit. Put your heel down, toes up to the ceiling, your weight on your bent leg. Now we're going to hinge at the hips. We're going to take a little lean forward so your chest stays nice and pointing forward and your chin stays nice and level. You should just feel a stretch up the back of this leg. So again, it might be that 15-minute warm-up and seated exercises are enough for you at this point, and that is absolutely fine. Bring that leg in, swap it over, heel down, a little leaning. So again, the chest is lifted, chin's nice and level. Nice deep breaths. Nice big smile as well. Always like if people smile. I know you're feeling alright at that point. I'm going to sit it nice and tall. Now it's going to take a turn to one side. Just look right over that way. Just so we get that little stretch through the midsection of the body. We've been sat nice and tall for 15 minutes. Back to the middle. A little turn to the other side. So again, we're just stretching out those muscles in the centre of the body. Bring it back into the middle. And we're just either going to pop our hands on our hips, or the small of your back, or a hold on the back of the chair. Just going to pull the shoulders back and get a little stretch right across these muscles of the chest, the postural muscles. So this just helps us to stay nice and tall. And again, just a little squeeze back, hands on the hips if we need to, hands on the lower back if we need to. Any of those positions are fine. And then the last one, we're just going to take her round, give ourselves a nice big hug. So this time we're pulling the shoulders forward a little bit. We're stretching them the opposite way. And the other side. Stretch them out the opposite way. And you are all done for this section of the video, so thank you very much. At any moment now, my phone is going to tell us we are done with a little fanfare, which is a nice way to finish. And there you go. You are all done. I will see you on the next 15-minute video. Thank you.